one of a rain-delayed doubleheader turned out beautifully for the Texas Rangers. They beat the Seattle Mariners and kept pace in the wild card pursuit. And in the AL West, the Rangers now with 80 wins. That's more than they had all last year. Game 2 of the doubleheader good to go now from Rangers Ballpark in Arlington. We welcome you to Texas Ranger Baseball yet again. Along with Tom Grieve, I'm Josh Lewin. It's been a long afternoon into the evening. That first game was supposed to start at 12:30. Got underway a little after 5 o'clock. It was worth the wait. Tommy Hunter got it done on the mound. Everybody got it done at the plate.
It was a terrific team effort. The Rangers scored in a lot of different ways. They hit the long ball. They had base hits. They moved runners. Chris Davis hit a hanging curveball to center field for a home run. Esteban Herman drove in a run with a line shot double. Julio Borbon, line shot up the middle. They scored in all different ways. David Murphy, opposite field home run right down the left field line. And to balance it off, Nelson Cruz right down the right field line. And the box score gives you an idea of how balanced it was.
It takes a village. And the Rangers, with everybody contributing, but most of all Tommy Hunter, who went the distance in that game. First ever complete game as a big leaguer for Tommy Hunter. And the Rangers, with that Game 1 victory, now have designs on beating Felix Hernandez in Game 2. King Felix is a tall order, though. We'll tell you more about him in just a bit. It's the Rangers and Seattle Game 2 with Derek Holland on the mound for the Rangers when we come back. Ford F-150. Buy Progressive for a money-saving car insurance quote. Call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE. Buy Jack in the Box, where you can get anything on the menu any time of day. And buy Southwest Airlines. Go to southwest.com, grab your bag. It's on. Initially, game one was supposed to be played at 12:35 this afternoon. Instead, first pitch went at 5:06. And once the game got going, it didn't take long to finish it up. 2 hours and 18 minutes. Tommy Hunter's first big league complete game. And he pitched to just a little bit more than 100 pitches to get this thing done. A 7-2 Ranger win.
Now, that was a true pitching performance. He had an effective fastball. Didn't throw as many cutters today because his curveball was such a good pitch for him. He threw a lot of changeups like that one. And when it was all over and done with, a little over 100 pitches, 9 innings, 1 earned run. And he pitched like a veteran in a pennant race. And boy, was that nice to see from a 23-year-old.
Would you believe just the second rookie with a complete game for the Rangers in the history of this ballpark? Rick Helling is the only other Ranger rookie with a complete game. He did that in May of 1994 when this ballpark opened up. Derek Holland almost had exactly what we're talking about when he faced the Seattle Mariners at the end of July. He went 8 2/3 innings in that one. Couldn't quite get that last out. He could have been the first guy to do it. Instead, it was Tommy Hunter. As for what to look for here from Seattle, their starting lineup presented by Southwest. Ichiro at 199 hits for the season. Trying to roll the odometer over as we get going here in game two. Gutierrez and Lopez. Mike Sweeney is the DH instead of Ken Griffey Jr. now. Adrian Beltre and Bill Hall. The Wilsons at short and at second. They will turn double plays. Jack and Josh, no relation. No relation, I should say. Rob Johnson is the catcher batting ninth. And Derek Holland seemed to be rounding into form in the middle of August. He had won 3 straight games. And he had just beaten Minnesota 11-1, actually, on August 20th when things started to fall apart a little bit after that.
Yeah, and his last 3 starts have not gone well. But he's pitched well against Seattle this year. He's got a 203 earned run average and a 149 opponent's batting average in 4 games against Seattle. And Derek takes a lot of pride in his performance and looking to bounce back after 3 subpar starts.
Oh, I mentioned that one effort against Seattle, 8 2/3 innings, only 2 hits allowed. He was perfect into the 5th inning of that game, as a matter of fact. He struck out 10 and walked only 1. We had the pleasure of meeting his folks, Rick and Wendy, who had made the drive into Cleveland when the Rangers were taking on the Indians on that last road trip. Derek did not get to pitch in Cleveland. But he's getting to face off against the Mariners here tonight in Arlington, game 2 of the doubleheader. Ichiro was rendered 0 for 4 against Derek Holland in that game that we were just talking about back at the end of July. But again, for the season, he's at 199 base hits. And he stands poised to become the first big leaguer ever with 9 straight seasons of 200 hits. The bid will idle a little longer. David Murphy makes the catch. Well, Holland continues to state his case. Obviously, Hunter as well. The Rangers with 2 rookies starting this doubleheader. That hasn't happened since 1978, starting 2 rookies in one day. As it turns out, it is a very long day here in Arlington. The doubleheader made necessary because of a rainout on Friday. Pudge Rodriguez, who played so well in the opener of the double dip, now gets to sip some coffee and watch on for game 2.
Well, when you catch that kind of a game, you get a complete game from your 23-year-old rookie starter. A lot of that has to do with working well with the catcher, so Pudge did a great job behind the plate. Also provided some of the offense in that game. He had a double, a single, and scored a run. So he earned the day off, the second game off, not the day off. And very seldom nowadays do you see catchers catch both games of a doubleheader. It's fairly common a while back.
Of course, there used to be more doubleheaders a while back, too. Now, the Rangers have done a wonderful job in a limited sample size regarding doubleheaders here in 2009. They've already swept 3, having played 3. And the worst they'll do here in this particular doubleheader is a split. But the Rangers don't want to settle for a split because of what they have learned from that out-of-town scoreboard today. The Angels have won their game against the White Sox, that final 3-2. The Red Sox swept a doubleheader themselves, beat up on Tampa Bay. Oh, close but no.
And that's where Derek is missing in his last start. He was throwing a lot of pitches right there, just missing the inside corner. But then what Ron Washington was looking for him to do was make a little adjustment to bring it back a little closer to the plate to get that call.
Boy, and after not getting the call, there's Gutierrez with a base hit in right center. The field continues to be, for the most part, in very good condition, all things considered. You talk about waiting out a rain delay of 4.5 hours. You figure there's going to be some slick spots out there, but top to bottom, these guys have been working real hard. Dennis Klein and his crew can take a bow. Jose Lopez, who had one of those 2 hits against Holland last time these teams faced off, and there is some opposite field hitting for Jose Lopez. Not picked cleanly by Cruz, and that'll cost him. Throw to the plate is not in time. It skips away, backed up by Holland. 1-0 Seattle. So already as many hits for Seattle against Holland as they had in that entire game against him back in July.
Well, it looked like Lopez hit that ball off the end of the bat, but he got it down in the corner. It's a tough play for Nelly because it's difficult to gauge that ball off the wall and field it perfectly cleanly, which is what he needed to do to keep Gutierrez at third base. But when it goes in and hits the wall before he can get to it, all it took was that little bobble, and Gutierrez was able to score.
Lopez having what could be a career year for him. He banks his 86th RBI. Now Mike Sweeney takes a strike. Back problems for Mike Sweeney, keeping down a wonderful career. Holland rides it in a little tight. That is Field and Culbreth calling balls and strikes here in game 2. He was not on the field for game 1. That's a tough pitch. Mike Sweeney, if you got a bad back, that'll mess it up even more. Take that kind of cut against that kind of pitch. Derek Holland, I'll show you the Geico quote, and he says, yeah, I've got to keep going right after hitters, even though it's not been going well lately. Can't start pitching tentatively now just because the last 3 games haven't gone his way. That game against the Yankees at Yankee Stadium is what started him down that slippery slope, giving up 6 runs in 6 innings. Then there was that nightmare game here against Toronto where he gave up the 10 runs in 3 innings. That was followed by the game at Baltimore where I really didn't think he pitched that badly, but boy, he was not getting any help from a strike zone that was very tight in that one. Holland lets it go by to short. Andrews throwing on the run to take care of Sweeney.
And actually, he pitched well in New York, too. He threw the ball really well against the Yankees. They were hot at the time. They've got an all-star studded lineup in Yankee Stadium. And he threw the ball really well in that game.
Beltre, the hitter now, 1-0 Seattle. Again, the Rangers took the opener 7-2. And with that win, the Rangers getting to 19 games above 500 again. And their 80th win of the season, meaning they've got more wins now than they had all of last year. Still 3 weeks to go here in 2009. You know, the Rangers without Michael Young and Josh Hamilton, you figure that might have been just a crippling blow, but the Rangers are 5-3 now with those guys out. That one is tight, and that's going to be runners at first and third, and a visit from Mike Maddox. And what has been a 20-pitch first inning for Derek Holland.
Batting sixth, the left fielder, number 3, Bill Hall.
A tough act to follow, no doubt, with Tommy Hunter doing what he did, earning his 8th win of the season in that opener, first career complete game. Derek Holland's got the other complete game by a rookie this year. That was on the road in Anaheim. Former Milwaukee Brewer Billy Hall. There is a strike from Derek Holland. And you sure don't want to fall too far behind early because of who's on the mound for Seattle, right? You're talking about Felix Hernandez here in game 2.
Well, Felix gives up about a little over 2 runs per game over 9 innings. His ERA is 2.61, so that's about 2.5 runs per 9 innings. That gives you 9 earned runs anyway. An idea how tough he is.
It was a miserable year this year for Billy Hall in Milwaukee. He was hitting .201. And if you look at his track record, that's just something you never saw coming. On the ground, a short for Elvis Andrus. On to Kinsler to get Holland out of the inning. Took a couple dozen pitches, but only 1 run in. And now here come the Rangers. Trail the nightcap real early, 1-0. Let's check the Ranger lineup brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Bourbon, Andrews, and Kinsler will get it going. Then Bird, Murphy, and Cruz. Davis, Teagarden, and Vizquel. Of course, Omar Vizquel started out as a Seattle Mariner. Now playing against the Mariners in their headline act. This is King Felix. Pitch back to that scouting report in just a moment. He will deal a strike to Bourbon.
It's pretty tough to find any of his numbers that aren't top of the line. 14-5. He's got the second best ERA in the league. He's got the fourth most strikeouts in the league. Fifth most innings pitched, so he's a workhorse. And the best opponent's batting average. So you're talking about a real stud right here. We got to the big leagues when he was only 19 or 20 and got a little bit better every year to where now he's pretty much reached the status that everybody expected him to reach.
Bourbon will skip it right over the bag at second, and the Rangers right away. Just remind everybody, they're not going anywhere. Considering it's still kind of a slippery infield, even though the grounds crew has done such a marvelous job of getting it ready, you wonder if the Rangers will run with Bourbon.
Yeah, it's tough to tell. I'm sure being able to have no rain for 2 or 3, 4 hours has allowed it to dry a little bit, but it still might be a little soggy. I mean, it rained a lot last night, and it took the groundskeepers a long time to get the field playable. But it may not be a fast track, so we'll see if Julio can get a jump and whether they want him to run or not.
Andrews with a 14-game hitting streak. Longest by any American League rookie this year. Third longest hit streak by a rookie in Ranger history. There was a 15-gamer by George Wright and one by Jerry Brown about 20 years ago. Couple of random blasts from the past right there, huh?
The Gov.
George Wright got his done right at the tail end of that 1982 season.
I can remember one of the first times the first time I met Jerry Brown was in Plant City during spring training, and he was with 4 or 5 of our very young Latin pitchers, and it was a cold, windy day, and the Latin pitchers were getting ready to go out for warm-ups without long sleeve shirts or without a jacket.
Bourbon down to second base. That'll work. Didn't even have to use the sacrifice to get that done.
And so I didn't know Jerry Brown, and I assumed he was one of the young Latin players, but I heard it. I heard him speaking English, and I said to him, Jerry, would you tell those guys to make sure they put on a long sleeve shirt before they go out for practice, because I didn't speak Spanish. And Jerry looked at the 3 of them and said, he wants you to put on a long sleeve shirt before you go out there. He didn't speak a word of Spanish.
At first base, that play is made by Lopez as a second baseman by trade.
Very good job by Elvis, though. Steal second, move him to third. Rangers did that in the first game. Elvis was the one that got the fly ball to get him in, but now Ian's the hitter with a chance to get that run back in the first inning because of the base hit, the stolen base. Good job hitting the ball to the right side to move the runner over.
If the Rangers indeed can play a little you score, we score, that just kind of goes along with the whole template on a larger level. Red Sox win, all right, Rangers win. Angels win, Rangers win.
The Mariners going to play the infield in to try to cut the run off.
Felix Hernandez getting that first one by Kinsler, who was among the many to contribute in that opener. Ian had a double. Kinsler just 6 for 33 lifetime against Felix Hernandez, but it's kind of a join the club deal on that. It's actually 0 for his last 14 against Felix. You look at some real good hitters on the Rangers ball club. And they too have kind of some soggy stats against King Felix.
This is only his 4th full season in the big leagues. Whoa. And he's faced the Rangers 20 times already. This is his 21st start against the Rangers. I think we faced him all 6 times last year. And this is the 5th time the Rangers have seen him this year.
Yeah, 37 innings pitched against the Rangers last year. No one else in baseball pitched even 28 against the Rangers.
I should say the 3rd time they'll see him this year.
Bounce to the plate. Johnson knocked it down.
That would have been a nice way to pick up a run.
Yep.
He had a start back on July 9th. That was here. 8 innings, only 1 run. Then a nice start. That was actually in Seattle. Nice start at Texas. 7 innings, only 2 runs. So in 15 innings, in his last 2 starts against the Rangers, he's only given up 3 runs.
With the infield in, the 2-2 pitch. We will do it again. And you kind of hinted at it, Tag. Felix Hernandez, only 22 years old on opening day. So now that he's 23, people, I think, sometimes forget. You know, he's just been in the spotlight for so long. It seems like he's been around forever. But he's 23 years old.
Had another start at Texas back in May, 7 shutout innings. And the one time this year the Rangers got to him was his first start of the year against the ball club. 6 innings, 10 hits, 6 runs. That was in Seattle. Now hopefully we'll miss him when the Rangers go to Seattle. Otherwise, it'll be a couple years in a row where they faced him 6 times.
So that last one was certainly a change. And at this time, going down and away again, the strikeout of Kinsler. Showed him that high fastball once. And he goes down and away to strike him out.
That's about an 89-mile-an-hour either two-seam fastball or changeup. There's something off speed and it dropped. It went down like a splitter.
Yeah.
And at 89 miles an hour, you don't expect to fool a hitter and have him out in front of that pitch. But that was a terrific pitch under the circumstances with a man on third base and less than 2 outs.
Marlon Byrd will try to save the inning. He drove in the first run in game 1. Only 2 innings in which the Rangers did not score in that first game. Just a very consistent drumbeat that entire game. They just kept getting 1 run or 2 pretty much the whole late afternoon, every inning. Got some home runs, Chris Davis, David Murphy, and Nelly Cruz. So far in this series, the Rangers have lost by 5 and they have won by 5, splitting the first 2. In a series that will be long remembered for the multitude of wet weather. Rain out Friday and a big time delay to start the doubleheader tonight. If nothing else, the Rangers are making Hernandez throw some pitches in this first inning. 20 of them already.
The same pitch that he got Ian with.
Yep. It's nasty stuff. It's why he's got the 2.61 ERA. And he's got got a 1-0 lead here at the end of one.
Mariner managers talked about how they did not do the same game plan they did against Kevin Millwood last night. That is, take a lot of pitches. They thought they did not work Tommy Hunter that well. Meanwhile, in game 2 right here, look for the Mariner hitters to take a lot of pitches off Derek Holland. We'll see what happens. That is if Wakamatsu gets what he's hoping for right now.
Not out of Jack Wilson, he doesn't anyway. But yeah, it's a good point, Jim. Thank you. As Wilson flies out, the Mariners for years have been known as the least patient team in baseball. They put a lot of baseballs in play, but they sure don't walk a lot. And Tommy Hunter with that real good curveball in game 1. It kind of had the Mariners off balance. A lot of pop-ups. Not a lot of well-hit baseballs. Again, Tommy Hunter ended up going the distance for the Rangers in a 7-2 win. The second consecutive Wilson to face Derek Holland. And Josh Wilson, not exactly known for his power, hits this one well. He hits it off the top of the wall. And into second base he goes. Claimed off of waivers from the Padres while the Rangers were out there on the West Coast in the middle of June.
That's a breaking ball that got a little bit of the plate. Still a nice job of hitting by Josh Wilson.
Josh Wilson, a versatile guy, has played short, third, and second for Seattle. He's also made a couple of pitching appearances this year. Once for the Padres and once as an Arizona Diamondback. There's a strike to Rob Johnson. By the way, the Padres beat the Rockies 7-3 today. The Rockies trying to catch up to those LA Dodgers in the NL West. Had a shot to gain ground today because the Dodgers lost their game. Giants needing a win, and they got it 7-2. Brad Penny got that win for San Francisco. Been a pretty nice pickup, actually.
Yeah, Brad Penny's found the road a little easier to travel in the National League than he did with the Red Sox.
Seven to 2 the final in that one. The Giants over the Dodgers today. But But again, the Rockies lost, so they stayed 3 back. The Giants get to gain a game in that National League wild card. They're back to within 4.5. Johnson sails one to right. Wilson tags from second. And will scoot to third. Now, once again, all the Japanese media is on standby. Ichiro will come to the plate, bidding for that 200th hit of the year. Also American media. Your Ford leaderboard shows you why it is a big deal. Wee Willie Keeler, 8 in a row, 100-odd years ago. Ichiro trying to become the first guy to get to 9. He's only had 9 years in the major leagues. Slowly hit. Could this be it? Andrews does not have a play. There's hit number 200 for Ichiro. And it's an RBI ground out. Could it have been anything other than an infield hit?
Well, you don't mind the little dinky infield hit, but unfortunately it came with a man on third base.
And history has been made here in Arlington with that. The infield hit from Ichiro. Most guys Ichiro's age start slowing down at least a little. But these last several years, I mean, he's actually kicked it up a notch.
Yeah, very few guys his age are in that kind of shape either. There really is, physically, I can't think any difference between now and 9 years ago when he first got here. It's probably the same weight, same size. May not be quite as fast as he was when he first got here, but he's the same hitter.
Well, you know what, though? I mean, he's always had the flair for the dramatic. He waited until just after rush hour in Tokyo. It's 10:30 a.m. in Tokyo right now, so all the business people, I'm sure, up and around and wondering if Ichiro got it done. And because this game has gone so late, this whole day has gone into the evening with the long delay off the top in game 1. Rather than get it done at, say, 4 a.m. Tokyo time, 10:30. There's a foul back by Gutierrez. And it's funny, I mean, you know, it's been reported how Japanese travel agencies, they used to sell Seattle as home of the Space Needle and Mount Rainier. Now they simply pitch Seattle as home of Ichiro. If you want to see Ichiro, come to Seattle. Outside to Gutierrez, 2-1. And the thing about getting 200 hits this year, he was already minus 16 games because he missed about a week and a half twice this year with a couple different injuries. That ball smoked into left field. David Murphy going back. He makes the catch on the track. Seattle, though, getting that 200th hit from Ichiro. Also getting out to a 2-0 lead. A variety of seating areas. Some restrictions do apply. Get your tickets at TexasRangers.com. The Rangers already won once today, 7-2. Seattle's got 2 early on in game 2 against Eric Holland. Comeback trail hopefully begins right here with David Murphy. He had a home run in game 1. Opposite field, a home run for David Murphy. That was kind of nice to see. Right down that left field line. Nelly Cruz had an opposite field home run too.
Yeah, Nelly's was right down the right field line, hit the bottom of the foul pole.
We've grown accustomed to see Nelly, especially in the home run derby in St. Louis this year, hit those 440 footers to left center. But yep, this one was just kind of chipped off the foul pole to right. Opposite field again for David Murphy. To the track. Leaping catch out there by Billy Hall.
Thought off the bat he might have done it again, but that one didn't have the height or the distance. Good at bat by David, though, lining the ball like that.
Sending Hall to the wall. It's like sending Hunter Pence to the fence.
A little premature jump there, but he wanted to make sure he caught it.
There's a more traditional trajectory from Nelson Cruz, but that's simply out number 2.
Well, the Rangers had a man on third base back in the first inning. That's when Hernandez really went to work. His best pitches tonight have been to Kinsler and Bird. That 89-mile-an-hour changeup that struck both of them out. Just a terrific pitch. Unusual changeup in that it has the action of a splitter and is 89 miles an hour. At least both of those were.
Isn't that something? We're talking about a guy throws an 89-mile-an-hour changeup.
Well, you know, his fastball has been solid. 90. That was the highest one. 94, 92, 94. And generally, a changeup would be maybe 9 to 11 miles an hour less than the fastball. But the two that he threw to Kinsler and Bird were both very, close in velocity to his fastball, but had the effect of a changeup because they were way out in front of him, and then they had the movement of a splitter because they both dropped.
It was in 2006 that King Felix was kind of deposed. He just couldn't seem to figure it out. And everyone had a theory on what was wrong and how to fix it. It almost became comical after a while.
Basically, I think the only thing that's ever been wrong with him is his youth.
Right.
He just had to mature, grow, on the job training. When you get to the big leagues that young, even with his talent, it's not easy.
That ball smacked by Davis once again to the wall.
Those 3 balls hit pretty well.
Man, oh man. The Rangers come up short distance-wise, but they do get around a little bit on King Felix here in the second. 2-0 Seattle. won the opener 7-2, but they're trailing the nightcap 2-0. Originally, a 12:35 first pitch was scheduled for game one. And the Rangers announced 2 o'clock and then 4 o'clock, hoping that those would be close to the pin. The weather did not cooperate. We started game one at 5:06 in the afternoon. It was well worth the wait. Tommy Hunter, the complete game. Now Derek Holland trying to make sure that after a wobble in the first and in the second, he can kind of cruise on through it here. The bullpen obviously well rested. Didn't go to the bullpen at all in game one. Friday there was a rainout. But you'd like to keep the guys fresh for the Oakland A's, who have started to hit the ball very well. Had a 20-hit game earlier this week. Had a 10-hit game today, but got shut out. Minnesota with an 8-0 win against Oakland. If the A's would like to, they could come here and watch this game right now. I'm sure they're in town by now.
Maybe there are some A's here.
Well, there's a former Oakland A at the plate right here. Does that count? Mike Sweeney.
I would not say that counted.
No, that's too bad. How about Ron Washington? He coached there for 11 years.
No, would not count Ron.
Your son Ben played for the A's, was rookie of the year.
He is not here.
No. Gorman Heimuller, is he around? Chris Cotteroli. Strike 3 taken by Sweeney. This is the kind of inning, at least so far anyway, that the Rangers really wanted to see out of Holland after that, as we said, wobble in the first and in the second.
And you can see the third pitch right on the inside corner. That's where Derek likes to throw the right-hand hitters. And we talked about the game at Baltimore. He was missing 2 or 3 inches on the inside part of the plate, but he got that one to swing right where he wanted it.
Beltre drew the walk in the first inning. Played the full 9 innings in the opener. Hey, Derek Holland's got something right now. 0-2 to Beltre. Opa! 7 pitches to get through the third. Rangers right back to the plate when we return. On before the game. The concert starts about 4. Then the Rangers and Angels play at 6:05 as part of a Red Out weekend. Be sure to wear red to show your support of the Texas Rangers, trying to overtake the Angels. 972 Rangers, the number to call to get your tickets, or go to texasrangers.com online. Currently, the Angels a 5.5 game lead in the AL West, and the Red Sox a 3.5 game lead for the wild card. That's because the Angels won their game today, 3-2 against Chicago. The Red Sox took a pair from suddenly sagging Tampa Bay. The Rays have lost 11 straight. Teagarden at the plate here works it to 3-0. Omar Vizquel, the former Mariner, is on deck. A lot of talk already, Tag, about the guy on the mound. We talked about Felix Hernandez a few years ago when he was just 20 years old. And because it wasn't going spectacularly for Felix Hernandez, everybody had a little theory about what to do to fix him. Ichiro on the run, can't hang on. Taylor Teagarden into second base.
Well, it's about time one of those hard hit long fly balls find some ground instead of leather. Last game the Rangers hit 3 balls pretty well. Left field twice, center field, all 3 of them caught. This time 3 balls and 1 strike. Pretty decent pitch outside corner. Taylor drove that over Ichiro's head. That's not easy to do.
Well, the size of that glove he uses too. Off the tip of that glove. And now here is Vizquel. And just to finish that thought on Felix Hernandez, Tag, in 2006, and I'm sure everybody was very well-meaning about it, but after every start, there was just some different explanation and some different observation that a pitching coach would make, or a manager would make, or a scout would make. It's like on a house when everybody gathers around trying to figure out what's wrong with the patient. Everybody had some sort of something to offer, and then finally, after a while, it seemed like everyone simmered down and stopped trying to explain to Felix Hernandez. They just kind of let him pitch, figure it out for himself. And I bring that up because Derek Holland is in a spot right now where, yeah, things have not been going great of late. But to keep in mind that he's 22 and learning on the job, it's kind of a helpful exercise to keep that in mind. Vizquel was trying to bunt earlier, and now it kind of works like a bunt anyway. Slaps it to the right side. Taylor Teagarden dashes over to third.
The second time in 3 innings the Rangers have had a man on second with no outs, moved him to third on a ground ball, and you don't know how many opportunities you're going to get to score against Hernandez. And they didn't cash in the first time. Hernandez really buckled down and got Kinsler and Bird on strikes. And now it's Bourbon with the infield back, at least up the middle, trying to get that run in. You don't want to waste 2 opportunities. Man on third, 1 out in the first 3 innings.
Bourbon took one up the middle in the first inning. Now hitting .321 in his rookie big league season.
Hernandez is not an easy guy to catch. He throws hard and his ball moves all over the place. That 2-seam fastball that he throws, you just saw that, was tailed away from Bourbon and kept right on going. Hard breaking balls. Even his changeup that we saw was 88, 89 miles an hour with movement.
To left field and foul. Little Carlos Gomez of Minnesota smelled the bat right there for Bourbon. Did you see that?
No, I wasn't watching.
Dug out of the dirt by Johnson, 3-1.
Johnson moves around really well behind the plate. He blocked the ball in the first inning with Bourbon at third base. Big save for him. Nice job of catching that curveball. It was way down and in.
Rangers won the opener 7-2. But again, Boston won twice today, 3-1 and 4-0. Tommy Hunter carried the Rangers in that opening game, his first ever complete game. Only the second Ranger rookie to have a complete game in this stadium. Kind of hard to believe, but 14, 15 years of business, only Rick Helling had done that in this ballpark. Bourbon getting just enough of it. Yep.
That ball was fouled by about an inch. It was just behind home plate. If it went a little bit farther, it would have been right on the plate. It would have been a fair ball.
Well, the last two pretty much right there for Bourbon. The 3-2. Fouled away, we'll do it again. Towards first, that is a fair ball. And Bourbon is out with Jose Lopez basically showing up at the bag. And there was the baseball. And again, you have to give Felix Hernandez some credit. Been making tough pitches to tough hitters all year. He's 14-5. Andrews will try to get this guy home from third. Taylor Teagarden doubled to lead off the inning on a 3-1 count. Rangers had a runner at third in the first inning as well and could not score. Bidding to become the third Ranger rookie ever with a 15-game hitting streak. No Ranger rookies had a 16-game hitting streak. Playing some of his best baseball down the stretch when the Rangers need it. We mentioned the Red Sox winning twice and the Angels won their game 3-2. Former Ranger Darren Oliver, the win in relief there. Brian Fuentes gets save number 41. In the air down the right field line.
Hernandez's last two starts have come against the Angels. Back-to-back starts. He's given up one run in 15 innings to the Angels. And a win and a no decision.
Trying to get to 15-5. Will be the second best winning percentage in the league behind Scott Feldman. Kinsler on deck to count 3-2.
That's the exact pitch that he struck Kinsler out with, that he struck Bird out with to end the first inning. But Elvis was able to lay off it. Pretty good back control.
And a good student, too. He's seen his teammates fall by the wayside on that one. He says, I'm not doing it. taking that one, though. Strike 3 called.
2 curveball.
Wow. Good plan, good stuff. Good pitcher. 2-0 Seattle at the end of 3. Flag trivia question here in game 2. The last 2 players to hit for the cycle in natural order, meaning single, double, triple, homer. Not jumping around. They are both former Rangers. See, we do give you a hint. That's a tough question, so happy to donate a hint. Answer coming up in the bottom of the 4th. Right now we're in the top of the 4th. And the nasty weather has moved away. This is still kind of dreary weather, but you can play in dreary. Light rain falling right now, but boy, compared to what we had this morning and this afternoon, this is nothing. This will go down as one of the wetter weekends in the Metroplex. And of all teams, Seattle was here to experience that. A couple years back, Tag, that city saw rain 33 days in a row at one point, so we really can't complain. Billy Hall jacks one into right center field. Up against the sponge check side and bouncing away. Had Billy Hall been busting it out of the batter's box, he would have easily been at third base right now. Instead, he's going to slide on in there, and I guess it's no harm, no foul, but I think Billy Hall thought that one was going to get out. It stayed in. He's got a triple.
In most ballparks, this is a double, but it hit the corner of the wall and kicked past Nelly toward the foul line, and that's one of the reasons it was designed that way, so balls would take tricky bounces like that, give it a dimension that a lot of parks that are symmetrical don't have. Unfortunately, that time it hurt the Rangers, got an extra base. I think he was just cruising into second. He thought he had a routine double and realized that might have to turn it on and get to third base.
That's one of those where if he doesn't get to third base, he's got to answer for why he wasn't busting it out of the box.
Yep, that's for sure.
Infield is in. Jack Wilson is the batter, former Pittsburgh Pirate. He's gained some games in the win-loss column. The Pirates with that 17th consecutive losing season. Incredible. He has left that in his wake. And a smash into left center will get the job done. A base hit.
That ball right off the end of the bat. A pretty good changeup. Not hit that well, but pretty effective.
One in the first, one in the second, one in the 4th now against Holland. Yep, you're right. Right off the end of the bat. Now a second consecutive Wilson to come up after Jack hit his Josh. There are 5 active Wilsons in the major leagues. And 40% of them are hitting back-to-back for Seattle tonight. The Rangers have one of the real good Wilsons. They got CJ. We've been saying it all year, but the back of that Ranger bullpen has not been an issue at all. A couple of flare-ups here and there, but every team is going to have that, right? We were just talking about Brian Fuentes. 41 saves for the Angels. He's blown 6 saves for the Angels, and some of them pretty explosive, where he'd give up not just a couple in an inning, but like 5. Haven't seen the Wilsons who are Ranger fans at the ballpark much this year. That's Luke and Owen Wilson.
How about Mr. Wilson?
From Dennis the Menace?
Yeah.
One out there, and now the hot box to get number 2. This is very Dennis the Menace-like right here. Uh-oh.
Yeah, unfortunately, you're right. Yeah, I think every guy that threw the ball threw it too soon. And that was an excellent job by Jack Wilson in that rundown, too. He's got a pretty good idea what to do in that rundown. Chris throws it a little bit too soon, gives him a chance to go back, and that throw is just low.
All right, so we go back to what we were talking about in game 1. You can't assume a double play, right? So is there no error on that?
No, I think you have to give him an error to get out of that rundown, that throw. When you're in a rundown, it's assumed you're out. And I have to think that you get an error. Elvis's throw low to Chris on that one.
But they just called in, just as you were saying that, as fielder's choice. And that's it. But I agree with you. I mean, the play, it's almost like a separate play it developed.
Yeah, usually the play that you're talking about that's not an error is when the guy is safe at first base, not when he gets the extra base.
I'm with you. And now, yeah, you know what, Tag? You're right. Now they do call in E6, so there you go. That's too bad. That's the 20th error this year charged to Elvis. We're hoping to keep that number in the teens. So now back to Ichiro, who had that 200th hit of the year experience back in the second that drove in a run. Holland deals a strike. Ichiro had been 0 for his last 7 against Eric Holland before that infield hit. The Rangers victorious in the opener, 7-2. We haven't paid a lot of attention to the National League today and tonight, but we'll get that done next inning. Go through the scores for you. That ball rolled foul by Ichiro Suzuki. Kind of a steady drizzle right now, steady light drizzle at the ballpark. And again, that first game was delayed from 12:30 in the afternoon until 5:06 in the afternoon when it got going. Ichiro just kind of carving that one down that third base line. Tremendous bat control for Ichiro. They tell stories about him in Japan, Tag. He had a 16-game stretch, according to the Japanese media, where every ball at which he swung was hit into play. He didn't hit a foul ball over 60-plus at-bats. No swings and misses, no foul balls. That's amazing. And it's not happening in this at-bat with Derek Holland.
Yeah, and if that actually happened, then that's a pretty good example that the pitching in Japan is nowhere near what the pitching is in the United States.
Now, he wasn't safe every time, obviously, but he was putting everything in play, they said.
Yeah, and just watch now. What are his chances of coming close to doing that here?
Right. Well, Holland strikes him out after getting a flurry of foul balls. With the rain coming down, 3-0 Seattle. Now on the bottom of the fourth, the Rangers trying to come back against Seattle. The Rangers won the opener 7-2. I kept him even with the Angels, who also won today, but the Rangers have already dropped half a game in the wild card because Boston won twice. We promised to run through the National League scores, and the Phillies looking to sweep a doubleheader. They beat the Mets 5-4 in the opener. Another shaky outing for Brad Lidge, but he did knock down save number 29. Phillies lead the nightcap there 1-0 in the sixth. Two and two to Kinsler. And that Philadelphia lead, by the way, in that NL East could be 6.5 games.
Watch
up
out.
and in. Marlins lost to the Nationals 7-2. Florida trying to hang in there courageously in the wild card race, but it's not a good loss for them today at home to Washington. Pirates got a win. They beat the Astros 2-1 in Houston, despite a Lance Berkman home run. Braves over the Cardinals 9-2 in Atlanta, trying to fight back in that wild card picture. Kinsler down the left field line through the raindrops, foul. Leave the umbrella behind. Go ahead. Can always come back and get it later.
Well, you've been here since 10:30 this morning. You finally got a ball.
Yep. Now back to Mary Poppins, our originally scheduled programming. 3-2 pitch to Kinsler. Up near third and foul again. Cubs beat the Reds today 5-2. Probably too little too late for those Chicago Cubs. 7.5 back in the wild card. Another one way up there. 9-pitch at bat going in the rain for Kinsler. Padres beat the Rockies 7-3 today. Colorado failing in its opportunity to gain a game on the Dodgers. The Giants beat the Dodgers 7-2. There's a 10th pitch of the Kinsler at bat. Walloped into left field. Boy, right at Billy Hall. Too bad. Get you back to that Aflac trivia question. In the rain, in the fourth, in Arlington. Last two players to hit for the cycle in natural order. Single, double, triple, homer, joker, joker. Wilkerson and Matthews.
Missed that one.
Matthews actually a few years ago on this date. That was against the Tigers in Detroit. I believe that was 06.
Rangers have actually hit the ball. They don't have any runs, but they've actually hit the ball pretty well today.
And Beltre just in time to capture Marlon Byrd.
And a number of hard hit outs to the outfield off Fernandez, but he's made pitches when he's been in trouble. He's had a man on third base and one out twice. Pitched around it both times.
Well, no accident that he came in with those gaudy numbers of, what, 14 wins, 5 losses, ERA of 2.6. Too late in the season for that to be luck. Murphy takes on the outside corner, strike one. That's a cool nickname he's got too, King Felix. It's good to be the king. Strikes out David Murphy. And that is now 6 straight for Felix Hernandez. The Rangers trail game 2-3-0. Where 15 minutes can save you 15% on car insurance. By AT&T, switch to the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered. And by Hankook Tires, tame the road. Trying to tame the rain a little bit too, but we got nothing to do with that. The Rangers won once today already. That game actually did not feature anything that looked much like rain. A little bit of mist for maybe an inning. But nothing like the steady drizzle of right now. Umbrellas dot the ballpark. What has been a long day for the ballpark employees, for sure. They deserve a big-time attaboy. And the fans, obviously, that have been here, many of them since noon today. Gutierrez with a smash into left center field. Murphy back, Bird is back. This ball is going to bounce up and out for an automatic double. That's a 2-hit game going for Gutierrez now. I guess the hope was with that 7-pitch third inning for Derek Holland that would be kind of the settle down inning. But the Mariners scored last inning and they're off to a quick start here in the 5th.
A fastball that was pretty close to the center of the plate. Gutierrez has had a nice season for Seattle. He's had a nice season against the Rangers. Got a lot of big hits for them.
Strike one taken by Jose Lopez. Tommy Hunter pitched the opener for the Rangers, and it was a beaut. A complete game. A 7-2 final for the Rangers. Mariners scoring in the 3rd and the 9th. And that was it. Lopez lifting one left field.
Golf that thing. But it's an out that failed to move the runner over. That's a good thing.
Now you do want to keep it at 3, the way Felix Hernandez is going about his business.
So one thing Lopez probably would need to do to kind of elevate his game a little bit higher is to walk a little bit more. He's only walked 24 times, 528 at bats. On base percentage is only .307. He's a good player. 23 home runs, 35 doubles, and 85 knocked in. But to kind of raise the level a little bit more, you'd like to see him get on base a little bit more often.
24 is actually a pretty decent walk total by his standards. There's some years where it's half that. Mike Sweeney golfing 1-2, but this one is going to drop into Nelly Cruz's glove. Well, they got some DHs, Seattle does. Ken Griffey Jr. and Mike Sweeney, who have some skins on the wall, huh? And of course, before that, they had Edgar Martinez for forever. Edgar Martinez a Hall of Famer, Tag?
I'm not sure that he quite gets there. I think he deserves consideration, but you know, I don't have his stats right in front of me, but my guess is he might come up a little bit short.
No true DH has ever made it. You can argue that maybe Harold Baines would have as good a shot as Edgar Martinez. Paul Molitor goes in having DH quite a bit, but certainly not as much as Baines or Edgar Martinez. High drive, Adrian Beltre, way up in the air, deep into left, and it is gone. In the opener, it was the Rangers scoring in just about every inning. Every inning except the 3rd. And now the Mariners have that exact template going in game 2.
That's only Beltre's 6th home run.
That's another pitch that has a pretty good amount of the plate.
It was a changeup, and Beltre got underneath it, but he's a strong guy. You wouldn't know it by the 6 home runs he's hit this year.
He's had a season of 48 in the past, though. Wave and a miss by Bill Hall. 5-0 Seattle. Every game of this series has been decided by 5. 8-3, 7-2. And so far here, 5-0. Meantime, the Rangers have been 2 hit by Felix Hernandez here in game 2. Holland not getting the call from Field and Culbreth. Down and in, and the rain letting up a little bit. This second game will become official after the Rangers bat in the bottom of the 5th inning. And the Rangers have the bullpen up for the first time in game 2. Eddie Guardado. And again, what's been a very long day at the ballpark. A lot of the Ranger players were here at 9 a.m., 9:30. The original thought was to get the first game going at 12:35 today. Another golfed baseball. Murphy will collect it. The inning ends, but 2 more runs have scored. 5-0. Seattle on top. Oakland's coming to town Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Wednesday night, it's a $1 hot dog night. A Dr. Pepper autograph Wednesday as well. 972 Rangers to get your tickets, or online at TexasRangers.com. Felix Hernandez has been hard at work and really having a fine night. The Rangers won the opener 7-2, but they trailed the nightcap 5-0. And it has just not been easy against the 23-year-old Felix Hernandez. Mark McLemore joins us in this inning, and a guy that, as a former Seattle Mariner, I know you're rooting Rangers here, but you got to appreciate Felix Hernandez.
I'll tell you what, Felix Hernandez is an outstanding young pitcher. You know, he was 19 years old when he got here, but it seems as though he's been around 10 years, and especially the way he's pitching tonight and actually all year long. This guy's a tremendous pitcher. He knows how to pitch, and he just comes right after you.
Yes, he does. Nelly Cruz with the foul.
Back to guys have obviously sat around a long time today. What's it like for a player when you've got that kind of a rain delay waiting for the game to start? Do you lose your enthusiasm? Do you have to get psyched up to go out there? What's it like when you're sitting back waiting for a game like that?
I think it's probably tougher for the Mariners at this point. The Rangers are in a pennant race, so I think that should automatically psych them up no matter what's thrown at them.
Right.
They should be psyched up just to be in a pennant race right now. So I don't think there's anything that should throw them off of that. But the Mariners, their season's pretty much done. They're not in contention anymore, so it's got to be tough for them to come out and be going through this long rain delay, being here, and it's getaway day and all the other things that go along with it, and then to go out here and try and play a game and face a tough left-hander. Derek Holland's a great pitcher as well, but so it's a long, tough day for players.
What did you do? The guys play cards, guys watch movies, watch football. When you were bored and had nothing to do in the clubhouse, what did you fall back on?
Usually music. I was never really a card guy or a dominoes guy. I just never did that. So I would either be listening to music, maybe watch a movie, and if it was Sunday, I'd watch a little bit of football.
Wilson at second base taking care of Nelson Cruz. Yeah, watching football seemed to be the big passion for the guys in that Ranger clubhouse. Mariners clubhouse too. Had a chance to poke my head into, well, we had a chance to do about everything. We're waiting 4.5 hours before game one. But obviously, I mean, the Rangers very mentally sharp, it appeared, going on out there. I mean, that long wait didn't deter them. They won the game 7-2.
Well, I think they're mentally sharp for the second game, but they've got Felix Hernandez to contend with, and I think that's what's definitely slowed them down. But I think they were very prepared. They came out the first game and did exactly what they needed to do. Got an outstanding performance from Tommy Hunter, and everybody in the lineup contributed somehow. I think Marlon was the only one without a hit, but he hit a ball to the right side and drove in a run. So that's just like a hit there. So they were ready today. They're just running into Felix Hernandez right now.
One thing that's got to be a little bit frustrating here is Davis fouls one off his foot. Even though now it's 5-0 Seattle, and maybe this doesn't mean as much as if it was, say, 2-0. The Rangers had a couple of those at bats where, indeed, you had a runner at second base, you hit the ball to the right side, advance that runner to third with less than 2 out, and you're thinking, this is great. We're going to find a way to get a run here. Just didn't happen.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's what makes Felix Hernandez so tough. He realizes that as well, and he bared down and said, hey, I've got to make some pitches here and get a couple of strikeouts, keep the ball in the infield or something, but I can't let the ball get out of the infield, and he did just that. Got a couple of strikeouts and got out of those situations, and that's what makes a great pitcher, just being able to recognize the situation and realize what he has to do and then get it done.
Mark McLemore visiting with us. You'll hear from him on Rangers Live after the game. Kind of a wet set down there, huh?
Very wet. Water blowing everywhere.
Oh, you guys did a fine job, you and Dana, getting us ready for this second game here. After the Rangers again emerged with a victory in game one. And Chris Davis was a part of that with a home run up there on the hill. You see that ball that he hit just disappear into that wet grass, by the way?
That's all the rain. That place is just, I mean, every piece of grass out here is just absolutely drenched.
A couple of good at-bats for Chris. He's got 0 for 2 with 2 balls hit to the outfield, but he went the other way, just got underneath a couple of them, drove them to the warning track, both of them in left center field.
And Taylor Teagarden had a real nice at-bat in the third inning, worked the count to 3-1, then doubled to right, not trying to do too much with a pitch to the outside corner. This time a grounder to second base. Mac, you had your one big 7-run inning last homestand.
That was it.
Other than that, it's all 1-2-3s, unfortunately.
All right, man.
All right, good to see you.
You got luck next time, Mac.
We'll get them.
All right.
Rangers and Mariners in game 2, head to the 6th inning, 5-0. By Amica Insurance. It's not just how you're covered, it's how you're treated. For more information, visit amicatexas.com. After the Rangers won the opener at Seattle, leading 5-0 in a rainy nightcap. And the first game of this doubleheader was delayed till 5:06 p.m. The Rangers had hoped to play it at 12:30. So obviously a long day at the ballpark for all these players and all the game day staff here in Arlington. A lot of folks here at 9 a.m. will end up going home around midnight tonight after the long one yesterday. Rangers and Mariners getting done around midnight yesterday too. Games that must be played though. The Rangers are certainly still in it. Very much so. 5.5 back in the West, 3.5 back in the wild card. Jack Wilson in the air, left center field. David Murphy back near the track. He's got it. We go to Jim Knox.
All right, Josh, time for the progressive fan of the game. It has to be Kate because Kate brought her great-grandma to the game. Kate, you had a good time, I know. How old is your great-grandma?
88.
88. Did you have a good time?
I did.
Doubleheader, so she brought her grandmother out. They had a good time. Here's your tote bag, your shirt, and the hat. Kate, her great-grandma. Good to meet you, Kate.
I feel like I know you. I've been watching you all this ever since you've been playing, I guess, up here.
Well, that's good. I appreciate that. They continue to watch. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jim. And any fan who's been here for both games, you are in contention for a progressive fan of the game, no doubt.
That's showing me something there. Grandma and granddaughter staying all this time.
There's his second consecutive Wilson to bat. Josh Wilson had a double and a run scored back in the second. If you had to pick a Wilson, Flip Wilson or Woodrow Wilson?
I'll go with Flip. I didn't know Woodrow too well. Flip was really funny. I used to love Flip Wilson.
I figured that was up your alley. Inside corner to Josh Wilson. Of course, Mariners used to have the catcher Dan Wilson.
Yeah, Dan was a solid guy.
What about the volleyball from the Tom Hanks movie, Wilson?
I like that Wilson a lot.
Yeah.
I love that movie.
Castaway?
I felt sorry for Wilson at the end of that too.
The only time I ever pondered crying when a volleyball went out to sea. You know?
Became a living thing. I guess if you're stuck in his situation, that probably would be a living thing to you.
Let's face it, most times if a sporting good gets carried away on the big blue ocean, it's not that big a deal. But anyway, this Wilson with a walk. And the Rangers will get the bullpen going again. Holland has allowed 8 hits. And now this walk to Josh Wilson. Eddie Guardado up for a second time. It's been a long enough day where I'm almost to the point where I'll solicit emails about your favorite Wilson, but
okay.
Now cooler heads prevailing on that. 5, 4, 3, double play. Omar Vizquel turns it. The Wilson talk is tabled. And the Rangers looking to get some hits now in the bottom of the 6th inning when we return. Sonic Slam inning brought to you by Sonic, and the jackpot worth $700 and tickets to a Ranger game and dinner for two at Sonic. Good luck to Marisol Montoya of Dallas. If a Ranger hits a grand slam this inning, we're giving away $25,000. You can register at any North Texas Sonic restaurant. Well, in the late evening dreariness, a soggy mid-60-degree night on a weekend just full of rain. The Rangers a 7-2 victor in the opener tonight, but here in the nightcap trailing by 5. And Omar Vizquel, the 42-year-old catalyst, has been that way for the Rangers this year. Has led by example. Tremendous energy. And a .282 batting average to boot. The Rangers have been held to 2 hits by Felix Hernandez in this second game. They were getting all kinds of base hits in the opener.
And I don't mean to say that they're hitting him hard, but they have hit some balls pretty well. It's 2 hits through 5 innings, but there's been 4 or 5 balls hit on the good part of the bat that have moved the outfielders back to the vicinity of the wall and the warning track.
That's just overpowering stuff, and he's had it all night. The last Ranger base runner was the Taylor Teagarden double in the 3rd. The only other base runner that was Bourbon single to lead off the ballgame.
He walks coming into the game less than 3 batters per 9 innings. Hasn't walked anybody tonight.
See Bourbon kind of scoot up in the batter's box as that one was coming. Ground ball, base hit for Bourbon. 2 for 3 against Felix Hernandez. Everybody else in the lineup combined has 1 hit. A couple of guys tagged that the Rangers selected in the draft of just 2 summers ago. Tommy Hunter and Julio Bourbon making such an impact down the stretch here in 2009.
Well, it's just good scouting, good player development, that you can pick a college player. You pick a college player in the 1st round, and you're counting not only on his talent, but that he'll get to the big leagues quickly. And they hit pay dirt with both of those guys.
Bourbon and Hunter were teammates on the U.S. national team in 2006. Got to know each other then. They competed against each other in college. Both out of the SEC, Tennessee against Alabama. Well, you talk about hitting with a couple of early round draft picks right there. Ball and a strike, the count to Elvis Andrus. One other game going right now. It's in the National League. Second game of a doubleheader. The Phillies lead the Mets 1-0. Already beat them once today, 5-4. Base hit Elvis Andrus, a 15-game hitting streak. Tying the Ranger record for longest hitting streak by a rookie. Up down the middle, good pitch to hit.
Second baseman, Ian Edwards.
Boy, Elvis making a real case to be Rookie of the Year. Obviously, the defense is what you notice first, but leading American League rookies in hits, runs scored, triples, stolen bases.
You want to see your young players with talent get better as the season goes on, and that's definitely the case with Elvis. He's learned so much. One of the things that Rudy Jaramillo has said about him from day one is you don't have to tell him things over and over. You tell it once or twice, and it sinks in and he gets it. And it really looks that way when you watch his performance improve from opening day to where it is right now.
Mike Hargrove was Ranger Rookie of the Year in 1974. That's the one time that a Ranger has won that award. Maybe 35 years later, Elvis Andrus will get it done as well. One to Kinsler. On the ground to third. They go to second for one on the first double play. And Felix Hernandez just making big pitches when he needs to. 5-0 Seattle at the end of 6. By Southwest Airlines. Go to southwest.com, grab your bag, it's on. And the Ford F-150 is not just a pickup truck, it's a Ford F-150. Rangers won the opener 7-2, but they trailed the nightcap 5-0. Derek Holland goes 6 innings, allows 8 hits and the 5 runs, all earned. Walked 2, struck out 3. Gave up a home run to Adrian Beltre. Now it is Eddie Guardado who will take over and open up with Ichiro. Eddie had a couple of real solid seasons in Seattle. Will face his former teammate Ichiro right here. A lot of good things in that first game if you're just joining us. After a long delay, the Rangers got the 8th win of the year from Tommy Hunter. A complete game. Kinsler spins, taking care of Ichiro. Complete game 6-hitter caught by Pudge Rodriguez. And boy, that's another thing to talk about, Tag. There have been now 3 shutouts and 2 complete games caught by Pudge in the short time that he's been here.
Yeah, and the pitchers rave about throwing to Pudge. And every time we talk about Pudge, we don't mean to infer that the younger catchers aren't outstanding in their own right. But let's face it, as we mentioned in the first game, Pudge is Pudge, and there's only one of them. And it's not unusual, certainly not unexpected, that the pitchers would really feel good about throwing to him with all the experience he brings to the game.
The Rangers beat Doug Fister in that first game. Again, Tommy Hunter going to 8-3 as the Rangers went to 80-61. They've surpassed last year's win total. But because the Angels have caught fire again, they've won 8 out of 10. Because the Red Sox keep beating up on Tampa Bay, no games are being made. Gutierrez takes inside. That's ball 4. He's been on base 3 times.
First baseman Jose Lopez.
Lopez an RBI double back in the first. So we talk about the Rangers' improvement from last year, Tag, as they've gone from 79 wins to a very good possibility of 90-something here in 2009. Got to put Seattle on a short list of teams that's taken big leaps this year. They were 61-101 last year. And if they win this game, they're going to be 74-70 here in 2009.
Yeah, they're a better team this year. They just seem like they play better games. They're more focused. The pitching has been solid. It keeps them in games. They play low-scoring games. They don't score a lot of runs, but they get nice pitching. They play good defense. I think you have to give Don Wakamatsu and the staff that he brought in with him a lot of credit for the way they've turned around. I'm sure the Mariners are very happy with the job that Wak has done.
He got 2 Manager of the Year candidates facing off in this series, Wakamatsu and Washington.
Yeah, sure do.
Of course, Don Wakamatsu was a Ranger coach with Ron Washington here. Watt still lives in the area, in the Keller South Lake area. His son Jake playing in that game for Keller this weekend. And Don got a chance to toddle over and see that because it got rescheduled. It was supposed to be a Friday night game against Arlington Martin. Got rained out into a Saturday afternoon. So before that Rangers-Mariners game yesterday, there was Don to check out son Jake, hauling in 4 catches for 66 yards. Lopez out number 2. Don Wakamatsu grew up in the Pacific Northwest, Hood River, Oregon. Actually moved to the Bay Area as a 7th grader. Hayward High School out by Oakland. He was teammates with future NFL player and head coach Jack Del Rio. Having played his college ball at Arizona State with the likes of Barry Bonds. A lot of college players do get drafted out of that Pac-10, certainly out of Arizona State. And Tag, you know how the NFL makes a big deal out of Mr. Irrelevant, the last player chosen every year in the draft?
No, I didn't know they did that.
Baseball doesn't make a big deal about it, but Don Wakamatsu was the Mr. Irrelevant of the draft of 1984, the very last pick. The 1,488th player selected, and he got to the major leagues. Actually, he was selected by the Yankees initially, decided to go back to Arizona State, try to get a better slot the following year. He was taken 11th by the Reds, went back again. Inside 2-2 to Sweeney. Only 2 last picks of a major league draft have ever gone on to play in the big leagues. Don Wakamatsu was one. The Rangers briefly had the other. It was Desi Relaford was the other one. Ground ball left side, Vizquel. Flawless defense all year. 7th inning stretch in game 2. The Rangers won the opener, but they trailed the nightcap 5-0. AT&T Rapid Rewind. That a horse scared her a little bit. AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T is your world delivered. Your game summary, Ichiro did get that 200th hit, a 9th straight 200 hit season. Nobody's ever done that before, but history made tonight here in Arlington. Rangers had some opportunities early, never did cash in, and that's costing them now. 5-0, bottom 7. The Rangers won game 1, 7-2. Hit 3 home runs in that one. Chris Davis, David Murphy, Nelly Cruz. Now the Rangers need to find a way to hit Felix Hernandez. Maybe various items on various heads will make a difference. Crowd of 18,500-ish to begin things. Obviously, this wet, drippy, dreary weather has sent many of the fans home. Major props to the fans that have stayed all the way through. And a chance to come out, watch the Rangers play the Oakland A's tomorrow night. That is a 7:05 first pitch. Scott Feldman will go for win number 17. You got to rub your eyes and shake your head a little bit on that one. Remember, Feldman started the year very deep in that Ranger bullpen, kind of a mop-up guy. We're talking about him as a potential 20-game winner. Now on that march tomorrow, looking for number 17 against Brett Tomko. Brandon McCarthy will go on Tuesday. Another guy with a great winning percentage. He's 7-2. Busted bat. Wow. Most of the bat ends up near shortstop. Marlon Byrd is thrown out. It's just been that kind of frustrating game, too, here for the Rangers. We're talking about guys with a good winning percentage. Felix Hernandez is about to get to 15-5 if the Rangers can't get to him quickly. Running out of outs here, 8 to go. Talked about the A's about to come in. But then after that, that's the series everybody's got their eyes on. The Angels come in starting Friday night. Remember, the Saturday game now a 6:05 game. The Rangers have pushed back the Sunday game a little bit. You look at Darren O'Day getting ready in the Ranger pen. Going to be a busy afternoon in Arlington on Sunday the 20th. The Rangers will play ball against the Angels early in the afternoon. Then that evening, that's the Cowboys playing right next door. Two down in the 7th. Nelson Cruz to the plate. Congratulate our neighbors from down the street. The Cowboys winning in Tampa Bay today.
Big day for Tony Romo in the passing game, that's for sure. Wish I had him on my fantasy league team.
Yeah, but I still think your team's going to be okay.
I think I'll be okay. I might sneak in. You know, and they say once you get to postseason play, anything can happen.
That's what they say. That kind of happened to you in the league last year, didn't it?
That sure did.
Yeah.
In the opposite direction.
Maybe you'll be this year's
I want to be the Cinderella story.
Everybody wants to be the Cinderella story. Nobody, I mean, it's like they always said about the Yankees. Nobody roots for U.S. Steel. You know, if you're dominating all the time, it just kind of gets old hat. Start out 2-7, make some adjustments, make a run, win it all.
There you go.
You can do it.
All right.
2-0 pitch to Nelly Cruz from Felix Hernandez. There's a strike. That's his 105th pitch of the ball game.
Yeah, he's been over 100 pitches for about 20 straight starts. He probably averages, after his first 7 or 8 starts of the year, somewhere around 106 or 107 pitches. So he's right on target for that through 7 innings.
Cruz has worked it to 3-2. Again, Boston has won twice today. The Angels once. There we go. The walk to Nelson Cruz to bring up Chris Davis.
We talked about Chris's 2 at-bats. He's hit the ball high and fairly deep to left center field. He had good swings at 2 fastballs. The Rangers 5-0. Get one out here, get within a few. See what you can do against the Mariner bullpen. Mariner bullpen's pretty solid, though. Mariner pitching staff as a whole is pretty solid.
Davis, hot shot. One Wilson to the other to end the inning. So it's a shutout for Felix Hernandez through 7. And the Mariners angling it towards a split here in Arlington. Tonight's Ranger game on Fox Sports Southwest is being presented by Amica Insurance. It's not just how you're covered, it's how you're treated. For more information, visit amicatexas.com. Seattle looking to take the nightcap. It is 5-0 Mariners. Rangers won 7-2 in the opener. Here's Darren O'Day to take over, facing Adrian Beltre, who's got a 2-run homer in this nightcap. Derek Holland started game 2, lasted 6 innings, giving up 5 runs. Tommy Hunter was the story in the opener. Complete game 6 hitter. Mariners scored once in the first, once in the second, once in the fourth, and twice in the fifth thanks to Beltray. And a sidewinding Darren O'Day with a strike. The Mariners have an off day tomorrow. They'll get home in the wee small hours to enjoy it, or what's remaining of it. The Mariners travel more than any other team. Geographically necessitated. They're wedged up there in the northwest corner of the country. And even their in-division games, just for example, coming here to Arlington, that's a pretty good trip. Beltray down on strikes. Pitch tracker this inning brought to you by Amica Insurance. It's not just how you're covered, it's how you're treated. That's an unusual way for a pitcher to finish up. When we show that freeze frame of Darren O'Day, just kind of straight up with one leg kicked off to the side. Most guys are all the way through after the pitch is actually registered in the strike zone.
Well, after the rain and after the off day, Frankie, CJ, Felice are definitely well rested as we go into the series against Oakland. Darren's only pitching today because he actually needs to get in an inning. Same with Eddie. So if there is anything good about the rain and the off days and the way the games have been played out, it's that the bullpen is completely rested.
The count to the former Brewer, Billy Hall. Again, Feldman goes for the Rangers tomorrow in search of win number 17. 7:05 first pitch. If you can't make it to the ballpark, it's on Fox Sports Southwest. Walked him. After the game tonight, it's Rangers Live. Go down to the set right now and get a little preview for Dana.
Well, Josh and Tom, coming up after the game, yes, it is the post-game show. We'll wrap up this very busy day of Ranger baseball with the great analysis from Mark McLemore. We'll hear from Ron Washington, key Ranger players, getting Ranger reaction from the clubhouse. We'll show you the Red Sox doubleheader. They also played 2 today, and look ahead to that Scott Feldman start tomorrow, 16-game winner, Scott Feldman. And that is all coming up right after the game. Josh and Tom, will send it back to you.
All right, Dana, thank you. And Elvis Andrews going deep in the hole to make a nice play, but pulling Kinsler off the bag. So you got 2 men on and just 1 man out. Kinsler trying to get back to the bag to get Hall. Going to be another error on Elvis, is that right?
Yeah, I think that wasn't a simple call for the scorekeeper because it was in the hole. It was an off-balance throw. It's going to be ruled an error, but not a simple play.
So now Josh Wilson to the plate. Has 2 errors charged to Elvis in this second game. That one whacked out of play by Wilson. This is now the last game going. That second game of the Phillies-Mets doubleheader is over. And how about Pedro Martinez?
What is he, 5-0?
5-0, and he got it done against his former team, the Mets. 7 innings, shutout baseball. The Phillies win 1-0. Wow. Fly ball towards center. Marlon Byrd has got it. Now the Phillies could be tough again. heading into the postseason. Sure looks like they're going to get there now. But here's a crazy thing, Tag. I mean, the Phillies at 80 and 60. That is a strikingly similar record to what the Rangers are featuring right now.
Yep, sure is.
But the Phillies have a 6-game lead in the NL East. The Rangers could be 6 games back in the AL West. And dropped to 4 back in the wild card, too. One thing about the Angels, they got to go to New York and Boston. It's not going to be an easy trip, obviously.
They have to go to New York. They have to go to Boston. They have to come to Texas, too.
That's the big series everybody's got circled. The Rangers and the Angels this coming weekend. Right now, the lead for the Halos is 5.5. And yeah, the Angels with 7 games total against the Rangers. That's why there's a lot of excitement. The Rangers, if they take care of business against the Angels head-to-head, make up those games. Little squibber back near O'Day. He will make the play. Get the Rangers and the Mariners to the bottom of the 8th. Know from the leadoff man Julio Borbon, our Coors Light freeze cam shows it to you. Not easy to get done against Felix Hernandez. Borbon managed to go 2 for 3, and now a new pitcher to tell you about. Mark Lowe will take over on the mound. Hernandez going 7 quality innings. 109 pitches, so that's plenty, according to Don Wakamatsu. Time to hand the keys to the vehicle over to Mark Lowe, the Houston native.
If you look at Hernandez's last 3 games, 2 against the Angels, this one against the Rangers, it's been 22 innings, 11 hits. He's given up 1 run in his last 3 starts.
Lowe, who played his college ball at UTA, just down the road here. Yeah, tough act to follow. Felix Hernandez just continues to get it done against the Rangers. But as we've been talking about, it's not like the Rangers are the only team he's doing that against. Wave and a miss by Teagarden. Rangers 7, Mariners 2 in the first game tonight. Just not happening here in game 2. Teagard now 1 for 3.
Lowe's having a good season for Seattle. He's only given up 57 hits in 71 innings. Opponents are hitting .214 against him. He's got the kind of stuff that could make him a closer. Right now, David Aardsma is the closer, doing a great job. He saved 34 games, but Lowe's got similar kind of quality stuff that you'd like to see from a starter, a closer, excuse me.
Yeah, Aardsma just kind of took that gig and never let it go.
Yep, he'd changed teams quite a bit. He was with the Red Sox last year. And the Mariners got him, gave him that opportunity, and he has taken it and run with it. Aardsma has a 190 opponent's batting average.
We were just talking about Bourbon with a 2-hit game, and here he is against Lowe. Well, the Rangers getting close to getting a couple of key components back. Josh Hamilton is targeting this weekend, and so is Michael Young. Rangers have 3 games against Oakland between now and then. There's another hit for Julio, a 3-hit game.
You talk about turning on a 94-mile-an-hour fastball. That is a quick bat and a rope to right field. It's on the inside part of the plate. And you got the good part of the bat on. What a nice swing.
And it brings up the only rookie who's got a 15-game hitting streak in the big leagues this year, Elvis Andrus. On the ground to first. So it's a 5-hit shutout now for Seattle in game 2. We're on to the 9th. The Rangers having taken game 1, but they're in trouble here in the nightcap. Morning up artist on the North Lawn after the Rangers-Angels Sunday game. That's now a noon game, remember. Be sure to wear your red for the Red Out weekend finale. And for tickets, you can go to TexasRangers.com or call 972-RANGERS. More wearing of ponchos and wearing of red at this doubleheader today. Game 1 was delayed until 5:06 p.m. The initial hope was to play at 12:35. Doug Mathis to Ichiro.
Well, for most of the afternoon, it didn't look like we'd play at all. There was no sign of a let-up. Fortunately, there was a little bit of a window. Looked like it might only be a couple hours, but it's turned out to be 5 or 6 hours.
Just enough time to play 2. Doug Mathis getting into his 20th game as a Ranger this year. The Show Low, Arizona native. Speaking of Arizona, the Diamondbacks a 5-3 loser to Milwaukee today. Prince Fielder hit home run number 39. Mathis just missed right there. And yes, Ichiro has gotten that 200th hit 9 years in a row. First major leaguer ever to do that. I'm wondering, did all the Japanese media, did they file that story and then run to the airport and try to get out of here tonight?
I think a lot of them left. There's, I'm sure, still several of them here, but
boy, it made for a packed press box this weekend, didn't it?
yeah, it was bad time to have that many people stuffed in the press box with all the rain delays, because there was much more time for everybody to be concentrated in that area. Not just the Japanese media, all of us.
We all got to know each other very well this weekend. We'll run through some other scores, by the way, one last time for you here in the 9th. Ground ball, Davis, and now it's a foot race. Mathis to Ichiro, and Mathis wins that race.
Yeah, good, nice play by Chris, and a good job by Doug to get over there before Ichiro beat him to the bag. And that's not an easy thing to do as quickly as Ichiro gets down to first base.
2 for 9 in the doubleheader for Ichiro, but those 2 hits enough to get to that 200 plateau. Here is Franklin Gutierrez. Some other National League scores. The Giants beat the Dodgers, and boy, they needed that today. Brad Penny, a 7-2 winner, as the Giants win at home against L.A. The Giants gain a game in the wild card because Colorado lost in San Diego 7-3. Jason Marquis was going for win number 16. Cubs beat the Reds 5-2. Ted Lilly took a shutout into the 9th in that one. And the Braves destroyed the Cardinals today 9-2. Tagging Chris Carpenter pretty hard in that game.
That hasn't happened very often this year.
Now he and Scott Feldman tag have the same record, 16-4. So Feldman's got a shot to lead the majors in winning percentage. Feldman tries to go to 17-4 tomorrow. Strike 3. Down goes Gutierrez.
Good two-seam fastball came back and caught the outside corner. Doug's held opponents to a .235 average. Only walked 10 batters in 38 innings.
Kinsler grabs a line drive. That's what ended the 9th inning in game 1, too. But that one was a 7-2 Ranger win. 5-0 Mariners in the nightcap. Rangers' last chance when we come back. Rangers.com. Grab your bag. It's on. By Progressive for a money-saving car insurance quote. Call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE. And by the Ford F-150. It's not just a pickup truck. It's a Ford F-150. After the Rangers came up with a 7-2 win in Game 1. There's a lot of feel-good here at the ballpark despite the wet, nasty weather. But things quickly turned here in the nightcap. Seattle with 1 in the first, 1 in the second, 1 in the fourth, and 2 in the fifth, and the Rangers never did get going against Felix Hernandez tonight. David Aardsma is their closer. This is obviously not a save situation, but trying to get him some work. The Mariners trying to get out of here, having won 2 out of 3. I think more than anything, Tag, having played 3 out of 3 is remarkable.
It's pretty amazing with all the rain we had. Took a while, but we accomplished it.
High fly ball from Kinsler. Don't forget Rangers Live after the game, recapping the doubleheader for you.
Center fielder, Marlon Byrd.
We were hoping to talk about the Red Sox losing twice and the Angels losing once, but that did not happen. The White Sox beat the Angels 3-2. Or excuse me, Angels over the White Sox 3-2. And the Red Sox twice over Tampa Bay. The Rays have now lost 11 straight. Can they be that cold when they come to this ballpark in about a week and a half? High drive, Marlon Byrd to the track, but out number 2. All things considered, 2 rather briskly played ball games. The first one went 2 hours 18 minutes. This one will be probably about 2.5. But the long wait was just to get the doubleheader going because of the rain. And all the fans that hung in there for every inning, kudos to you. Long day, no doubt. And the Rangers with 1 up, 1 down in this one. A 7-2 win. Trailing in the 9th here, 5-0. Rice against Baylor here. As things draw near a close. Murphy, a very prolific Baylor Bear. David Aardsma helped Rice win a College World Series title in 2003. Popped up towards third, foul ground. Beltre going over. Out of room. You hang out, waiting and waiting, hoping for a souvenir, and at 10:30 at night, you got one. Two-two pitch. No, says Field and Culbreth. Nelly Cruz on deck. .705 tomorrow for the first pitch. Rangers live at 6:30. The homestand continues. And again, before everybody starts getting all crazy about the Angels coming in Friday for that 3-game series, got to play well against the A's for 3. Line shot center field. Base hit, David Murphy. Trying to keep things alive here late.
Well, David hit a home run in the first game. His first time up today, he drove one to the wall in left field. That was a line shot to center field for a base hit. Only 6 hits for the Rangers, spread out pretty well. They had back-to-back hits in the 6th. Other than that, they've had a hard time getting more than 1 runner on base. In fact, that I think was the only inning they had more than 1 runner on base.
Murphy taking off, and defensive indifference as he co-signed in the second. Rangers with 12 hits in the opener, and we kind of hinted at it. We're kind of hoping they could bottle that and sprinkle it around here for game 2. They've been held to 6 hits. Three of those hits, by the way, from Julio Borbon. See how close that one came to untucking Nelly's jersey. Ardsma ends it, striking out Nelson Cruz. So it is a split for the Rangers here. After winning 3 doubleheaders, 3 sweeps, this one is a split. 7-2, Texas, the final of game 1. 5-0 Seattle in game 2. We go to Dana and Mac. They've got Rangers.